This here is the Oteheite apple tree, also known as Ethiopian apple. That's what people call it around here. And it's another kind of syzagium, which I've reviewed a ton of them, but the ones here are a little bit different, as they all are. There's like thousands of different species of syzagium, and this one, you can see already they're like a little bit more rounded looking. There are a few on here that are ready, like that one there, but as you can see, birds got to it. So I'm gonna have to fight some birds if I want to try one of these myself. There's another one up there, but that's a little high. Maybe I can get that off. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Alright. So here's a good one. Ready to go. The man over here just got it with a stick. One shot. Oh, that's different. That's very different than what I was expecting. The texture on this is not like your typical rose apple. It's not crispy. It's got the texture of a very juicy pear, maybe. It's not mealy at all. It's very solid. And the flavor on this is also very different. It's tart. Oh, that's weird. It's very interesting to try a syzagium that looks quite similar to the things I've had in the past, but tastes very different. It tastes like pears, star fruit, maybe a little bit like apple, and it's got like a little bit of a floral taste in it. So I was walking around the market in Port Antonio, Jamaica, and I found some of these Oteheite or Ethiopian apples for sale at the market, and I decided to pick it up because this is a lot bigger and darker than the one that I ended up foraging. So I think that the one that I had was probably not like completely ripe, so it's probably not a great example of like what the fruit actually tastes like if you were to buy it. It is bigger than a pear, it's bigger than an apple. It's got like all the typical markings of just a regular like rose apple, which I've reviewed in the past, but it is notably different. You know, just like how it looks on the outside is like a little bit different. You know, just it's got these little like ridges on it, just the coloring is a little different, and more than that, it's heavy. I know this is not really a very good indicator of how heavy it is, but maybe you can hear that little sound. This is like, you know, much heavier than your typical rose apple or water apple. You know, the ones I've had in the past have always been like very light, and you can like kind of hear them like reverberate like they're empty. They're very, very juicy, crispy little things. This thing has some density to it. It's harder. It's like more like, it feels like more like a melon on the outside when you tap it. Now this does have a large seed in it, so I'm not going to cut it all the way through. Yeah, on the inside it looks so different. It's very white, obviously, and it's also like, I don't know, a little creamier looking. It doesn't look as like translucent as the other syzagiums are. And then you of course have this gigantic freaking seed in it. Like, this is very big. And rose apples, as I've mentioned and shown in the past, they have like no seed whatsoever, very tiny ones. These are not like that. It's good. It's much less sour than the one that I picked off the tree. So yeah, that is definitely an indicator that the one that I had foraged was not fully ripe. This one definitely is. The flavor reminds me of a pear still, but the sweetness is less than a pear. I say like a pear is maybe like a 6 out of 10 on the sugar scale. This is like a 3 out of 10. It's quite a bit less. It's not crispy the way the other rose apples are when you bite it. It's just like a very juicy, succulent pear. In texture and a little bit in flavor, it's kind of like if you were to cross a pear and a rose apple together. Which, honestly, that's not too bad. So I think that's all I have to say about this thing. Very cool to get a chance to try it, and I'll see you next time. I want to give a special shout out to AltPod and Smarter Every Day. They are mega patrons over on patreon.com. Patreon is how this channel happens. It's how I can afford to do all the things that I do. So if you want to help me out by supporting the channel and getting some bonuses along the way, check out the description. I also have these shirts for sale. Those are in the description as well. See you next time. Bye.